Arizona, 2023. A small town where the nights feel longer than usual and some places never really close after dark. Ethan Cole, 29 years old, a struggling freelancer. Because of money problems, he took a job as a night receptionist at a place called Sunridge Motel, an old roadside motel just off the highway, far from the city. On his first day, the manager gave him a warning. The job is easy. Just follow the rules and stay away from room 214. Ethan laughed. Haunted room? Seriously? The manager looked at him expressionless. This isn't a joke. That night, Ethan received a small notebook. On the cover it read, "Night shift lob rules. After midnight, if a walk-in guest arrives, do not give them room 214. If any guest specifically asks for room 214, tell them it's already occupied. If the phone rings at 3:13 a.m., do not answer it. If the CCTV shows room 214's door open, do not go check it. And most importantly, if someone comes to the reception and calls your name, do not look at them." Ethan closed the notebook. "This is just to scare me," he muttered. The night was quiet, only the distant sound of trucks passing by. 1:45 a.m., a man walked in, tall, thin, his face hidden in shadows. "Room?" he asked in a low voice. Ethan checked the system. Every room was available. "Which room do you want?" Ethan asked. The man leaned forward slightly and whispered, 214. Ethan froze. He remembered the rules. "Sorry, that room is occupied." The man stood silent for a few seconds. Then he smiled, but the smile felt wrong. His lips moved, but his eyes didn't. "Okay," he said. "Give me any room." Ethan handed him room 203. 2:30 a.m. Ethan was watching the CCTV monitors. Suddenly, the screen flickered, and then the camera for room 214 turned on. But that camera was supposed to be off. No one stayed in that room. On the screen, the door slowly creaked open. Darkness inside, then a shadow peeking out from within. Ethan's heart started racing. "It's just a glitch." Ethan handed him room 203. He whispered. But then the shadow looked directly into the camera and smiled. Clock 3:12, 3:13. The phone rang. Ethan froze. The rule, do not answer. The phone kept ringing. 5 times, 10 times. Then it stopped. Ethan exhaled in relief. But then it rang again. This time, the display read, "Room 214. His hands began to shake. He ignored the call. And then a voice came from behind him. "Why didn't you answer?" Ethan slowly turned. The same man from room 203 was standing right behind him. "How are you here?" Ethan stammered. "I was calling," the man said calmly, "from room 214. Ethan's blood ran cold. "You're in 203. The man smiled. "I'm everywhere," his eyes completely black. Ethan ran into the back office. He searched through old records. Room 214. An incident 2011. A man named Daniel Harper checked in at night and was found dead the next morning. The door was locked from the inside, but CCTV showed him walking outside all night. Talking to the receptionist, Ethan realized the truth. The man in room 203 was Daniel Harper, but he was supposed to be dead. Suddenly, The reception bell rang. Ethan stepped out slowly. No one was there. But the guest register was open and written inside, Daniel Harper, room 214, and below it, another name, Ethan Cole. Lights flickered, CCTV screens turned on by themselves. Every screen showed Ethan, but he wasn't at the reception. He was inside room 214, standing in the dark, and behind him, that same shadow, slowly moving closer. The next morning, police arrived. The reception was empty. Ethan was gone, but in the register, two names remained, Daniel Harper and Ethan Cole, both. Room 214, and even today, if someone calls Sunridge Motel at exactly 3:13 a.m., they hear two voices. Room 214 is available. Arizona, 3 days later. Sunridge Motel, where a man named Ethan Cole vanished without a trace. But the story wasn't over yet. Officer Mark Rivera was assigned to the case. To local police, it was just another missing room. 214 person case. But something felt off. On the reception desk, an open register with two names, Daniel Harper, Ethan Cole. Both room 214. Mark frowned. Is this some kind of joke? The manager stayed silent, then quietly said, "Sir, this isn't the first time." In the back office, Mark found a locked drawer. Inside, old registers, 2011, 2014, 2017. By 2020, every few years, the same name appeared, Daniel Harper, and beneath it, a new name, a new receptionist, who later disappeared. Mark built a timeline. Every 3 years, a new receptionist, the same guest, Daniel Harper, the same room, 214. And in every case, CCTV footage corrupted. But one thing was always the same. 3:13 a.m. The manager said, "Sir, there's one old backup. Footage from 2011. That was never deleted." Mark played it. Grainy, black and white. A young receptionist sat at the desk. 3:13 a.m. The phone rang. He answered, and suddenly his face changed, like he was being hypnotized. Then he stood up and walked toward room 214 without looking back. Mark checked the time, 2:58 a.m. He was still inside the motel. The manager said nervously, "Sir, you shouldn't stay here." But Mark refused. "You want to see what happens at 3:13 clock." 3:12, 3:13, the phone rang. No one was at the desk, but the phone kept ringing. Mark stepped forward. He didn't know the rules. He picked it up. "Hello, Officer Mark Rivera." Silence, then a familiar voice. "Room 214 is waiting." Mark froze. "Who is this?" Then the voice changed. "You're late, Mark." Mark's hands trembled. He never told anyone his name. The call disconnected. At the same moment, the CCTV turned on. Room 214's door slowly opening. Mark pulled out his gun and walked down the corridor. Room 214, the door was half open, pitch darkness inside. He pushed it open. Nothing felt normal. Walls scratched, like someone tried to escape the mirror. Mark saw himself. But his reflection moved a second late, as if it was copying him. Suddenly, in the mirror, someone stood behind him. slowly opening. Mark turned. No one there. He looked again. There he was. Daniel Harper, but not human. His face incomplete. Eyes pitch black. And that smile too wide. Daniel whispered, "You understand now. Every 3 years, he needs someone who answers the call." Mark stepped back. "Stay away." Daniel moved closer. "You picked up the phone. Now, you stay." Mark realized this wasn't just a ghost. It was a cycle. Room 214 was a trap. Every time it replaces someone new. And Daniel Harper never left. Lights flickered, his gun dropped. He screamed, but no sound escaped. The door slammed shut, and on the CCTV, a new image appeared. Inside room 214 now stood two figures, Daniel Harper and Mark Rivera. The next morning, police arrived. The manager reported Officer Mark missing on the desk. The register was open. Now, 3 names: Daniel Harper, Ethan Cole, Mark Rivera, all. Room 214. And now, if anyone answers the call at 3:13 a.m., they hear 3 voices. Room 214 is available. If you found the story scary, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because the next story will be even more dangerous.